Good morning. Let's go ahead and do our gathering song. I'll play the first verse and Ann will help us get through the second go round. Today, I'm going to read you a story that I read to my grandkids. It wasn't around when, at least I didn't know it was, when my daughter was growing up when I was her father. But this is Guess How Much I Love You by Sam McBratney and illustrated by Anita Jerome. And and now there's going to be a little bright light in here because the book shines off the light, but that's okay. For Deborah and Joanne, and to Liz, and there's the father and his son. Little Nut Brown Hair, who was going to bed, held on tight to Big Nut Brown Hair's very long ears. He wanted to be sure that Big Nut Brown Hair was listening. Guess how much I love you, he said. Oh, I don't think I could guess that, said Big Nut Brown Hair. This much, said Little Nut Brown Hair, stretching out his arms as wide as they could go. But Big Nut Brown Hair had even longer arms. But I love you this much, he said. That is a lot, thought Little Nut Brown Hair. I love you as high as I can reach, said Little Nut Brown Hair. I love you as high as I can reach, said Big Nut Brown Hair. That is very high, thought Little Nut Brown Hair. I wish I had arms like that. Then Little Nut Brown Hair had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and reached up the tree trunk with his feet. I love you all the way up to my toes, he said. And I love you all the way up to your toes, said Big Nut Brown Hair, swinging him up over his head. Look how high his toes are. I love you as high as I can hop, laughed Little Nut Brown Hair, hopping, hopping, bouncing up and down. But I love you as high as I can hop, smiled Big Nut Brown Hair, and he hopped so high that his ears touched the branches above. Boing! That's good hopping, thought Little Nut Brown Hair. I wish I could hop like that. I love you all the way down the lane, as far as the river, cried Little Nut Brown Hair. As far as the river. I love you across the river and over the hills, said Big Nut Brown Hair. That's very far, Little Nut Brown Hair, thought Little Nut Brown Hair. He was almost too sleepy to think anymore. Then he looked beyond the thorn bushes out into the big dark night. Nothing could be farther than the sky. I love you right up to the moon, he said, and closed his eyes. Oh, that's far, said Big Nut Brown Hair. That is very, very far. But Big Nut Brown Hair settled Little Nut Brown Hair into his bed of leaves. He leaned over and kissed him good night. Then he lay down close by, and he whispered with a smile, I love you right up to the moon and back. How much can you love someone? Little Nut Brown Hair wants to know. to show Big Nut Brown Hair how very much he loves him. But love as big as his is very hard to measure. No matter where you go or what you do, those who care for you and those of us in the church and God will always love you to the moon and back.
Now it's our turn to talk to God. Light the candle. There we go. I'll say, thank you, God, for the next generation that's going to save this earth. Let's put the candle out. And the smoke rising reminds us that God is everywhere. Let's do our going song. And then we'll pass the peace, and you're going to go save the world. May the grace and peace of Christ be with you.